Yay. We did it, you guys. I'm so sorry it took so long. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Get Realisms podcast. I am Adam Chase Rennie.
I'm Christine Chen.
I'm Carly Shield.
Whoa, we got an old friend of the podcast. Oh my gosh, Carly, how's it hanging? What's chilling? What's good?
Just here in LA with Christine, about to go to Fraser Park and get going on our set on Monday. My brain's in prep mode right now,
So you have a set happening in Fraser Park. Is there like anything you can talk about from that set, or
we technically signed an NDA, so we can't really mention anything.
That makes sense.
Except that we think the cast and crew are pretty well. We have only met the crew, so we think the crew thus far that we've met, at least the department heads, are pretty cool. So we're excited about that.
So, is it both your guys' first time in LA? No, it's not your first time, Christine.
it's my first time in LA, though.
How you liking it, Carly?
It's been actually great. Like I like all the stereotypical California things, like being on the beach and all the good food we've eaten. And things, so.
You see, K-Spa.
And K-Spa life. We worked from the spa also, so that was a full day,
which is very LA as well.
I mean, that's just luxurious. You guys are just living that luxurious life, treat yourself. That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's been a far cry from our usual swamp life we've had for a while.
Yeah, I honestly I've only been in Louisiana for the past 2 years, other than Texas. So it's been nice to get out and things.
Yeah, not be in swamp weather. I'm sure. Wait, have you guys seen Roxy yet?
Yes, we have. We saw
Roxy
yesterday. Yes, and also Roxy is the key hair and makeup on this shoot as well.
That's amazing. Wow.
She already provided me a list of themes, suggestions. So
you can rely on Roxy for coordinating outfits and stuff. There was once or twice we did.
When we went to her house yesterday, she sent us a map with parking, like outlined in green versus yellow for 2-hour parking. I was like, wow, thank you so much for this location map.
we both share a love of color coordination. We love it. We love it so much. Organization and color coding stuff is an absolute fucking treat for me.
Yes,
same.
I don't know if you share her love of impractical packing though.
Wait, what? Impractical packing?
Yes.
Packing?
Impractical. Is that the word? Impractical?
Yes.
Yes. Impractical packing. Yes.
Well, I'm an idiot, so you have to explain that to me.
Yeah. So, Roxy and Carly share a common thread of they pack whatever, and it's like a lot. They don't know how to pack small, especially Roxy, and all the stuff she always packs is like not practical to set.
Everything I packed was very deliberately well thought out for all settings, because we've been in like the desert and the lake, at the beach, just like in a city. So it's gonna be cold at night, so I don't know. Christine didn't pack enough, in my opinion.
I don't know about having so many pairs of shoes.
Alternatively, I've worn almost all the shoes I brought within a week and a half. But Christine, instead, her car is just full of random equipment that we have no plan on using while here.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, our girl has to have options. What do you want from us, Carly? I mean, come on.
So our priorities are different.
Yeah. Just have film equipment and then one bag of clothes, and then Carly has 1 million bags of clothes.
I have 2 bags of clothes, large bags, and then another bag of shoes.
1 million bags of clothes, Christine?
You see the car.
How much? Well, yeah. I thought I overpacked for Ursley, honestly. Like when we were traveling down, even Kelly said the same thing. It was just like, I I don't think I packed enough. I thought I packed enough, but I clearly didn't fucking pack enough.
Yeah, Christine also
That's my
did
problem.
say, maybe I didn't pack enough. I need more
Yeah.
shirts. Oh, I didn't bring boots. Oh, this.
But
I'm
I
like,
also
uh-huh.
I also hate carrying a whole bunch of shit too. You know,
Yeah.
I really I don't know. It draws so much energy out of me that I can't even wrap my head around. That's just so much laundry to deal with. Ugh.
Yep. Yeah, we did laundry at Roxy's yesterday while chilling at the pool and doing prep stuff. So
Are you guys like living there? What's happening?
We've joked that we've accidentally moved. We will accidentally move to LA. The only thing stopping us is the extreme prices for wherever housing you can possibly afford. So, yes.
So,
But,
I can talk about this. Carly, have you been to a dispensary yet?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first night.
It's a wonderland, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a wonderland. It's
I have been
fantastic.
to one in Colorado that was like a little shop. In
Oh,
the
right.
mountains. But then we went here and we went to like an Apple store type. Like they have
Yes.
iPads and you are ordering and then they like package it downstairs and give you your little bag.
it's
go.
nuts. The branding and the marketing and I don't know. I'm just fascinated. But it literally was like the Apple Store of weed. Yeah, like
That's
beautiful designs, beautiful displays, and like this dude with like Carlos said, an iPad walking around being like, what do you want to feel, and like what are your goals for today, you know? And
it's like I hadn't thought about it that way. Gummies.
that's amazing.
Yeah. What are your goals? What would you like? Do you want an instant, or do you want to take your time? It was very funny.
But you got to understand that's civilization, you guys. That's what civilization is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like that. You're supposed to go into a shop that is so welcoming and the customer service is unbelievable. They're like, what do you want to feel? And sometimes it's like a real honest question that I would like probably cry in front of my therapist about. Like that's just like I want to feel great about myself, you know. You just
happiness.
Happy. I want to be able to sleep and enjoy food, you know. It's just it's such a different fucking experience as opposed to like anywhere else where it's just like I'm just here to get stoned and then go to bed.
Yeah, it was quite beautiful to see it. I was like, wow, this is a very pleasant experience.
It's marvelous.
Yeah. They had like these screens where you could answer questions and it would spit out like what they would recommend. And yeah, I don't know. I was just really impressed.
Yeah, because that's technology at its fucking finest. And I think every dispensary should be like an Apple store. Just have everything ready and available. You just have an appointment and you're just like, yeah, I'm here for Adam's order. And they're just like, oh yeah, here you go. Goodbye. And I don't need to talk to anybody. Oh, marvelous.
I'm ready for Texas to get it together there. So.
Oh yeah. It's coming. It's coming. I feel it in the horizons. But Christine, you look like you're about to fall over right now.
I'm not. I've actually been getting more sleep than I usually do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm just relaxed. Yeah. Also,
yeah.
I felt my age this morning. I coughed and then like somehow threw out my back. I don't know how that's possible, but
that's possible. Absolutely.
And Carly reminded me of a term that I'm now going to be using a lot, which is I'm an elder millennial.
It's a comedy special. I did not.
Yeah, it is. Eliza
literally an elder millennial. This is so sad.
Well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. I mean, in fact, you're talking to a pothead who's coughed so many times. I threw out my back coughing before too. So, it kind of is what it is.
Yes, we got our but the cough was not because of we got our COVID tests, so we're all negative. It's great. We're gonna be a safe set, and no, we're excited. It's been a jam-packed week. We forgot, like I was mentioning a lot. I don't know. Wait, we skipped last week, and then the reason for that was because we were road tripping it to LA,
and I knew that because
also forgot.
Yeah, it's a course of a few days from Texas to LA, and there was no way that I was gonna like do a podcast with you guys when you guys are already dead. Like that's just not fair.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it was just jam packed, and we kind of forgot that we were coming to work. Actually, we were just like, we're doing a national park tour right now.
We bought a national park pass. We had
That's
plans
hilarious.
to go through Zion, but we couldn't. So we spent like the day at Glen Canyon at Lake Powell and went swimming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really beautiful up there. But yeah, then we decided to stay an extra day.
Yeah,
we're like, oh yeah, we're going. We're actually driving to LA. We have a purpose of why we're doing.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, what are we doing? It's not vacation, but we kind of made it a vacation, like a little mini vacation. So it's been a positive experience leading up to first day of production tomorrow.
Definitely.
So yeah, we just jam packed it, and then this week has been Bruce, our friend that we're staying at, who's an awesome producer. He was actually the one who coined the term. You guys are marketing. You guys are marketing because we're meeting. We have, luckily, based off of what we've been working on, we've racked up a pretty good list of people to see in LA. Some of which I've forgotten also that still live in LA. So it's been fun. You'll post something on Instagram and then somebody's like, hey, I'm in LA too. And just meeting up with random people. After this, we have a meeting with a friend who's also in the AD department, Catherine. And it's just been, yesterday we had a lovely meeting with Michael Landry and Brandon, and I AD'd a project called Nice to Meet You for them last year, and they're doing this awesome series, and we talked about that. There's something about LA that I felt when the first time I was here and still feel coming back. It's this energy of wanting to make things happen, and it's very contagious, and everybody around you is trying to make something happen. And when you're surrounded by that energy, you feel inspired to do that as well. And I think that's why I enjoy coming here, because I leave feeling very inspired by my peers. So yeah, so it's been like, oh, I would have, after meeting with or hanging out, meeting, it sounds too clinical, but hanging out with Michael and Brandon, I'm like, I want to get my TV series up and running like right this second, and it's got to be amazing because their pitch deck was like HBO ready. It's beautiful, and they're gonna launch it pretty soon, and we're happy to push it and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's just inspiring seeing your friends like making it happen.
It is.
Yeah. So LA's been cool. We're never coming back.
No. It's horrible.
We're just gonna. I'm okay to live in a Star trailer for a bit. My friend has works for I guess a studio, and apparently on that lot they have lots of Star trailers, and he said that they don't even know that those are really there, and you can pretty much pop in and squat there if you want. I'm like, perfect. I'll just live in a Star trailer.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah. So that's my backup plan, Adam. So if you don't see me for a while, it's probably where I'll be.
That's understandable. I mean, I'd probably be right there behind you anyways. Just be like, hey, is there another Star trailer available behind you?
We'll just all live in the Star trailer. Let's be like, oh, hi, Carl.
I'm down
Yeah.
for the Star trailer community.
Me too. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm wrapping my head around it, I'm like, Star trailer. That actually doesn't sound too bad.
Basically, it's glamping.
Yeah, we're glamping.
I mean,
So,
yeah,
what's up with you?
absolutely.
Yeah. What's up with you?
Writing, almost done with this script, dude. It's close. We're getting to the finish line.
Almost
Yeah,
done. What does that
almost.
mean?
It means means
Okay.
probably in another 7 years. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be very soon. Do I know it's like tomorrow? No, it's not. But it's real soon. I can taste it. I mean, I've already talked to well, I mean, I can talk about this off air. Never mind. I talked to people like my buddies who I've been talking to the script about, like kind of running it with him, and he's given me feedback and vice versa and stuff like that. So I've taken that and really getting this script moving. So, that's just been my focus, and side gigs here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be actually on another shoot
Yay!
later this month. So that's gonna be.
You should be getting stuff. You need to get your car situation so that you can go. It's like we've been getting calls left and right about needing PAs and needing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know. It's it ain't no picnic in Adamland, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely doing my absolute best with the situation that I am in.
Yes, that's all you can do is do your absolute best. So.
Yes, and constantly feeling guilty. Anyways,
don't need to feel guilty. But I'm in the same boat as you with yours is you are in the script writing process, but I often compare the editing process to script writing as well. But I'm in that tweaking phase, and it's very, very frustrating because it's every time it's a lot of false finishes, like, oh, I'm done, and then then you get notes again, and then you tweak some more, and then you send it out, and it's like, it's really done for reals now, final version 3, and it comes with more notes, like,
or you look back over it and you're like, nope, hate it all, fuck this.
The nice thing about having this week and also us having our national park tour is that I did force myself to not look at the edit for a good week. So coming back, it's definitely helped with looking at it and being like, oh, I actually don't need this scene, or I don't. It's been easier to chop things, just chopping and without any emotional attachment. I think what gets to you is the emotional attachment, how long something took or how hard it was to film this one thing, and you just want to keep it. But when you're able to separate yourself from that, it's a lot easier to start making the trims. Our friend Ben Jagger calls it a trim pass. I've never heard that, but apparently that's a thing, a trim pass. So I'm on the trim pass right now, just cutting things left and right.
Yeah. I buy that. I mean, yeah, I can see how that's yeah. I mean, I'm kind of almost there in that same regard, but I don't know. At the same time, and please, Carly, chime in for any writing things that you've dealt with in the past, because when it comes down to it with writing, it feels like
he's on this. Wait. Sorry. Dean Jagger, who is Ben Jagger's brother, somehow has ended up on our Instagram Live.
Nice.
He's kind of a big deal.
Is that his actual account?
Yeah, that's his actual account. Yeah. So I don't know if he's still watching, but we were talking shit about Ben, so I'm glad you joined to let him know that. But anyway, Ben, we go ahead. Sorry, I was
No,
just
go ahead,
excited to
Chrissy.
see-
No, it's
see-
okay.
to see Dean. So I was
What about Ben?
No, Ben is a very talented director who did Room 2 or 3 that we were all on. We actually met him a few days ago, and it's been like director therapy. So because he already went through this process, like he's picture locked on his film and it's gone, and he can't, like, it's so gone that he can't even get access back to his film, which I can't imagine how that feels. Since I'm so, like, my drive is like a little baby that I carry everywhere, right? Like my external, Carly knows, like, let's bring the baby to wherever we're going. Yeah. And I've just been, whenever we can, and there's power, going in and little bits, trimming here and there and taking my time and
You
editing.
think you'll hire an editor next time so that you aren't like emotionally attached to editing your
I mean,
movie in any way?
I mean, Colby was kind of that for a little
Yeah, but I
bit,
mean, like
yeah.
further into the process.
If I have money, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be really hard because I think the hard part is like there's a pace that a momentum that I want to maintain, and when I control it, I feel like I have control of that momentum. But when it's in the hands of other people, they have lives. They can only, not everybody is dedicated, or like that. That's the terrible term. It's just like, this is my child, so I'm going to put more time in than anybody else in the world. That's just how that's the reality of it, right? And so, like, I can control the momentum so much because it means so much to me. It's like a kid, and if I give this responsibility to somebody else, they might go on vacation for a week, or go, do other stuff and have a life, and like, this is just a job to them, and it won't be at the pace that I possibly could expect and reasonably expect from people. Does that make sense?
Well, I guess you would set a timeline and then they would meet it, right?
Right, that's the hope.
In theory.
In theory, that's what you hope, but then I've worked with enough people to know that if you give them a timeline, they're going to take up until that, even though I know you can get it done in a week or two earlier than what I've set the timeline on. And then it drives me up the wall. So it's nobody's fault. It's just how it goes.
Can't you just set the timeline a week shorter?
Yeah, but people will like fight that. Yeah. Like, no, like, I can't. I'm like, oh yeah, you can, but it's fine.
You should do like a bonus for getting it done sooner, like an incentive.
Yeah.
I have seen people do something like that.
Yeah, I think so. When I have a budget of some sort, I'll try to one day relinquish control. It's just my type A personality.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to prompt like ways that you could let go of it in that way.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get Christine to focus on directing.
I have trouble letting go.
And not the other things.
But editing is part of directing, though.
Yeah,
like,
at the editing process.
The process, is for sure. But yeah, I would have a much more fulfilling life if I didn't have to control every aspect of everything of this film.
Yeah, or you can just try to find an editor who's on the same emotional level as you when it comes to the passion that they have for the project. So
possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Are you out of your mind?
There's nobody in the whole world that could ever.
Yeah, out of the billions of people in this world, Carly, no one.
It's only
unbelievable. Center of Christine's universe here.
Yeah, I felt that same way, like editing documentary and stuff though too, because especially like documentary, that's like where you're creating the story a lot of the time, and I'm like, shit, I don't like necessarily want to do this, but also that's the only way it's gonna get to like how I want it to feel and to be. So
I think it's possible. I think you can absolutely find an editor that works with you. I mean, there's plenty of directors who just keep the same editor they worked with for decades. Yeah. So I'm sure it's like building a relationship, Christine. It's like how you found Kelly. It's like how you found Carly. It's how you found everybody. You know?
Yeah, I just haven't found. I guess
Yeah.
I don't have the money yet to
Yeah.
find the
We're
person
broke.
of that caliber yet. Yeah, I probably do know people, but they would cost an arm and leg because they deserve it. Yeah, and I don't. I
Well,
haven't had the luxury to have that kind of budget yet. So
yes.
at all. So it all comes down to one problem. I would like more money, please.
The center of everybody's universe.
Yes, center of all problems. But I mean, I'm just grateful that I'm even in this position, and I have to keep reminding myself, hey, we made a film, and it's pretty much done, and I'm just tweaking it, So, but I can get so buried deep in it, being like, it's not. But Ben said, like, hey, it never is done. You abandoned it. That's all it is. Yeah, and I really related to that. He's like, you don't understand, like, you'll never. He's like, I wasn't done with room 2 or 3. It was just abandoned. They told me I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm like, oh, I guess we'll just come to a point where I'll just have to abandon the film. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It'll be called done. So I'm not there yet. Not ready to abandon the child.
It's less abandonment.
I
more
would,
just
yeah. I hate the word
it's going off
abandon,
to
you
college.
know?
Yeah.
It's ready for the next steps.
Yeah, it's just ready to move on. It's not, you're
Yeah.
not gonna abandon it. So are you out of your mind? Like, you're gonna abandon a child? Yeah, I'm gonna put my child on the street because it is what it is. I have to abandon it.
You're not like leaving the hard drive outside or
in the rain,
that would be abandonment.
In a ditch somewhere. Abandoned. No. No, you love the thing. You love the thing so much, Christine, that you're willing to let go of it.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Or am I out of my mind too?
No, you're right. You guys
abandon.
It's like that word feels very harsh.
I was waiting. I was gonna bite my tongue, and I'm like, I don't know. That really bothers me. Abandon. No, nothing against Homie, by the way. I'm sure he's a great guy. I would love to work with him. Please hire me. Yeah, no, I think when it comes to something that you love so much, it just, I don't know, like any relationship, you put so much time and effort. You remember the great times that you've had, and the fact that you even have a story in the first place in front of you is a miracle just in of itself. True, but you want to. It's like a bonsai tree. You just want to keep messing around with it, and then to the point where you have nothing else to trim, and you're like, okay, and then you're nervous and you get the cold sweats, but you have to let it move on.
Yeah, it's time. It's close. It's getting there. I have to move on.
Yeah.
Soon.
And I have to learn to move on too. Clearly, I have trouble letting go. Jesus Christ.
We all have separation anxiety.
What has been? I mean, we have 10 minutes, right, Christine? Are we good?
Yes, we have 10 minutes.
Carly, do you want to talk about your process in writing? I know we talk about writing just a little bit, but I'm curious about your
producing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big writer, honestly. Like, I don't know, that's some area that's always kind of stressed me out. And I feel
even
like
producing too. It's a work of art just in of itself.
Right. I mean, basically just I find out as much information about whatever topic or whatever thing it is as possible, and Google everyone and everything, and then compile a bunch of notes and kind of then sort. That's like how I have to start sorting out my mind and things.
Yeah, you're
and then lots of to-do lists and like timelines, starting to get like rough ideas of like, okay, it should take this, let's try to meet that deadline and all that. But I haven't produced my own project in a while, so
But
Yeah.
you are in the process of,
We're like developing, I would say. So, but I'm letting my friends take over more of the writing part of things, and then we'll kind of like come at it and be like, does that make sense? Is that sellable? Is that the story that we want to tell? All those things. But yeah, seeing like the developed like pitch deck and website from Brandon and Michael, I'm like, wow, yeah, major inspo, a long way to go. It can be stressful. I was talking also, I like being like collaborative. So I don't like things all falling onto me. I like having a co-producer or a co-director to bounce ideas off of.
Which there's some people who don't have that collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who are very much like hands off, laissez-faire, you know, kind of off to their own thing.
A lot of times it's just like, I don't know, you can get so in your head about things. It's like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, this makes sense. We're doing this.
And
Okay.
all Christine and I do is just get in each other's heads.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in my head too much.
Yeah.
I'm in my head. I'm so far in my head. I need a break from my head.
Yeah.
You know?
Writing helps with that. Or like, right. That's why I make all the lists and all the things. It like kind of, if not, that's all just happening in here all the time. So it helps to put it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, lately I've just been going back to old movies that's just been like, I just always go back to the things that inspired me the most. Like I've gone back to reading comic books for the first time in 15 fucking years. Like I haven't read, like the last comic book run I read was like Captain America when I was in middle school. Like, I mean, that's just like, that was when I was really in comic books. And now I'm back in it in a big bad way, and it's great, but it's also like kind of like calling back to my childhood and like all the other ideas that I had swimming in my fat little brain, you know, when I was just walking around middle school, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there's a movie? You know, like I always have these thoughts in my head. I just never put it down on paper, but I remember them. Them. That's the thing. It's like, and I go back reading these old comic books or watching these old movies. I'm like, oh my God, I had an idea about something like this, you know? And that's like what gets me like, oh my gosh, I need to finish the script. I need to get my life together. All that stuff.
I read that like a lot of adulthood is like reconnecting with the things that you enjoyed as a child. And then that's how you like grow and kind of find fulfillment as an adult as well. Yeah, just like kind of instead of like being like, oh, I shouldn't be spending my time reading comic books. It's like, no, comic books inspire me. And that's something I actually love. And I should do that.
And I had no idea.
That's how I felt even like video games and stuff. It's like, I was like, I'm not going to spend money on that. That's a waste of time. And then I like find myself like playing iPad games and stuff. I'm like, why don't you just actually like, you clearly enjoy this and it's helpful for you. Just do it.
Get yourself some games. Yeah.
Right. So now I own a Switch that I bought for an exercise game. And then I've played that like twice. And now I just play Zelda. So,
oh, you got the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was worth it.
So worth it. Oh my gosh. So worth it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it with comic books. Like I had no idea, like for some reason, kind of the same thing with video games. I'm like, at some point I'm going to get old, you know, and there's no way I'm going to want to keep coming back to this. Eventually I want to find a significant other. Like this is not going to be great. But I realized that, oh no, those things is what shaped my imagination in the first place. Why would I abandon the very thing that has shaped who I am and the person I've become today? If it weren't for those comic books, like I probably just would probably still be a barista somewhere, you know. I have all of these thoughts and ideas and whatnot. I just never really understood how to articulate them or at least put it on paper when I was younger. So when these old ideas come back, I'm just like, why the fuck? Like, why didn't I remember this? Like, that was actually kind of a cool, neat little idea. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, we all have to at some point circumvent back to, you know, the old shit, the good stuff, the greatest hits between video games, movies, comic books, whatever it is, even music. Like I even listened back to I listened back to like old Backstreet Boys, you know?
Yay,
It was
Backstreet
just like
Boys.
it was, but it also reinvigorated an entire memory that I've completely like pushed out of my head at some point, or at least in the back of my head, clearly, because I never forgot about it. But it felt like I forgot about it, most of these memories and stuff like that. So
I think you can consider anything research in that way. I mean, I don't know. It's like I used to feel guilty,
we're always
like, oh,
working.
just sitting and watching TV too. And then I'm like, actually, I know a lot about TV series and like their development and like especially about certain genres that I enjoy. And I'm like, that's the kind of content I want to create. And I actually know that market very well from doing those things. So, but yeah, you never know where your inspiration is going to come from of like music, comic books, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I even watched like a really like terrible movie and it inspired me. Like I never seen it before.
Right.
I'm not going to say what it is, but, and it's not terrible. It's just, it was a different time. Is the 70s is different than 2021. You know what I mean? It's just a different time. But when I watched that movie, I realized I'm just like, oh, right. This is what I would have done, just rewriting it already in my head. I don't know if you ever done that or not, but like I would just retroactively when I'm watching it, like rewrite it in my head. So I kind of understand what the third act could be and what it should be. And then once I get to the third act and it's not what I thought it could be or should be, then I'm like, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. There was an opportunity here. And I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. It's not. But there's opportunities that come up. And that's what makes it inspiring.
Series and things where I'm like, but why didn't you just do this? It was so clear in the development you had going on. Yeah, a lot of ruined shows that way too.
Yeah. And then of course, like I get those same friends who are just like, why do you have to like shit on a show? Like, you know, you've been in this industry, or why do you shit on a movie? Like you've been in this, you know, it's hard to do this shit. And I'm like, I know, but when you're already there in the muck of it, you might as well make a good story.
Yep.
I might be out of my mind, you guys. I don't know. I think I'm crazy.
No, I really gravitated towards what you were saying about revisiting things from your childhood and with a better understanding as an adult. I definitely did that. I've been doing that with Ersley, with looking at revisiting films and seeing why was it that I enjoyed it as a kid, because I couldn't articulate that back then. But now looking at like E.T. and Jurassic Park and some of these hits and going in with a more sophisticated eye, understanding the subtleties of what makes that film great is a huge learning tool, and like just pretty inspirational in general. I don't know if you've done art. I always go back to this Artist's Way, but there's a book called Artist's Way where they're just basically a bunch of exercises for helping with creativity and unleashing. And one of the things that they really do point out is that on a weekly or basis, or even daily, you should set aside time to let your mind be a child, which was kind of like what you guys were saying with like just simply playing a game or, you know, listening to some music or something, that helps to open the doors of creativity, because there's so many things that we as adults set aside because it doesn't seem mature or whatever that definition is. But so much of creativity is the wonderment of being a child, of exploring the world like a child, unfiltered, and that's creativity.
Like when you created as a child, you weren't worried about it being this like perfect thing.
Yeah.
Also, you just made it and you just enjoyed making it.
Yeah.
And that's something like I have to remember, definitely.
Same.
I mean,
Yeah.
like if I'm like doing like watercolor painting or something, I'm just like, doesn't matter. Just like enjoy that you're doing that. You know, I get so,
Yeah, this doesn't look right.
this
but
looks bad
but
because your
nobody-
taste is better than your ability a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
because
you
we're
know?
our worst enemy.
Right. Then somebody else sees it and like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, well,
So,
what's the big deal? It's actually really
Right.
nice. And then you're just like, no, it's stupid. It sucks. I hate it.
yeah. I've read like, you know, treat yourself like you, or like speak to yourself how you would like your best friend, and things like,
That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, that I really
I
picked up.
hadn't thought about it in like
Yeah.
connecting to the artist way, and that
Yeah.
I haven't done like all of that, but
Yeah, but it's they were
Yeah.
saying like, especially what you're saying, like things brought you. It's not that you forgot; you just tucked it away,
Yeah.
and it's true. It's like we have these adult responsibilities that we're supposed to do that we don't allow ourselves to enjoy and spend time with the child, and it is that child that it does open up and breed creativity. So I just thought that was really interesting that you mentioned that, because
Yeah.
that was a huge thing in Artist Way, that they are like, hey, you need to spend time. Recently in a podcast, M. Night Shyamalan said the same thing, that he literally forces himself to have 2 hours in a day where he just thinks. And he's like, hopefully I'm not just staring at a wall and nothing comes, but like setting aside that time is so important for processing, to be out of yourself and to let go of the societal barriers that we have been trained to put in place, because we're supposed to behave and act a certain way in society, type of thing.
and we talked about like driving
Driving is
being
one of
that
those
that
things.
time where you have to focus on that, but you also can like think.
Let your mind wander.
Sarah Blakely in her masterclass, the like Spanx creator, she also talked about like she goes for drives, and I don't know, I didn't even drive till I was 22, and now it's this time where I don't know, I just love listening to music and kind of like it helps me get out of my head and just
You're zoning out. Yeah. In a
Right.
safe way. Of course, you're driving,
Yeah.
but yeah.
get into my head in a better way. But
Exactly. By pushing out all of the people who you want to kill in your life, just push
yeah,
that
like,
to the
I
side.
can't think about you right now. I'm having a moment while music's playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think that just about does it, you guys. We're ready to take this plane for landing. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Get Realisms podcast. Get on getrealisms.com, pick up the book, ursleyfilm.com for the podcasting stuff and Ursley Film needs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna hopefully be back next week. We have been busy.
We're off on weekends, and
Yeah.
Sunday's actually perfect, because Sunday is
Yeah.
like the day we have to wind down and be back on site to do it over again.
Right.
So
I think like Sundays are like my days of, just because like I work always like throughout the week anyways, and I forget to give myself a day off sometimes. So it's just kind of like Sundays are like, that would be good podcasting days for me at least. So yeah, all right, guys, I think we're gonna be back here next week. Tune in. We love you. Anything
we're
else,
not sure
Christine?
where we'll
that I
be.
missed?
We'll either be in Fraser Park or en route to Fraser Park or somewhere in LA. We'll see, or in Long Beach. I think that was our plan.
Right.
So
With decent internet connection, correct. Anyway,
yes,
so
yes,
we will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else you want to add, Christine, before we say goodbye?
no, it's just the adventures of Carly and Christine for a good month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are in your honeymoon right now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
This is like our 7th one.
Yeah.
I guess our trip afterwards would be the full one. I don't know.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well,
everybody out there, keep writing, keep creating, and enjoy it.
and be a child. Who gives a
Be
fuck?
a child.
Yeah.
That's the theme. Be a child. Enjoy the process always.
All right, guys. That being said, we're done. We're out.
Peace.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Instagram.